Hello and welcome to this tutorial where we're going to be trying to understand the command sort for Linux. So the first thing that you're going to do in order to understand any command from Linux is to run the manual. The manual is run with the command man, and then you specify the command that you want to understand. So in this case we are trying to understand the command sort, so let's run it. And here we have a complete full documentation about the command. Basically the name, which is the source, which is going to help us sort lines of a text file, and then here the synopsis, so basically how the command format should be run. So basically we run sorts with the file and then we can add some options, and also a little description and all the options that we can use with this command. So let's start this tutorial. So for this tutorial I prepared this file in order to play a little bit with the command sort. So it contains basically a couple of lines. They're not very organized, and we're going to try to sort them with the command sort. So here in the command line, this is my terminal. Let's display the file. So its name is file. And in order to sort it, we run sort on the file that we want to sort, and basically here we have the output which is sorted. Second thing I want to show you guys is how to save the output of sorting into a file. So there are two options in order to do that. The first option is to do sort file.txt, and then this is the output. We're gonna redirect it and store it in a file. So let's call the output.txt. And now as we will run the command, but we didn't have anything displayed in the console because that result was stored in this file. So let's display right now what we have in the output. So basically we have the result of the sorting stored in the output. The second way we can do that is with the option -o. So basically, so we do sort -o, and we specify output.txt, and then which file we want to run the command on. So basically we are running sort on the file.txt, and we are storing with -o on the output file, and it's exactly the same as previously shown. So if we run now output.txt, we're gonna find basically the same results. Another option which is very useful is -r, so sort -r, which stands for reverse, and the file, and here is the result. So the results basically is going to be shown in a reversed way. So instead of starting from Benjamin and going all down to William, in this case, we're going to have the results in the reverse order. Another thing, guys, is to mention is we can combine all these options. So now I'm just running -r, but we can have multiple. Like we can do, for example, -r -o output.txt, and now as you can see this result is stored in output.txt. Now let's change a little bit the contents of our file and store some numerical values, so some numbers. So instead of strings I'm going to store some numbers, and let's try to sort them. So in order to sort, let's display it first. So I've got, so basically these are numbers. Let's add a space here so it doesn't get confused. So this file contains now numbers and we want to sort them. So in order to specify to sort that we are trying to sort numbers instead of strings, we do sort -n, which stands for numerical. So fine, and here we can sort it. And basically also we can combine options, like here -n for numerical and r for reverse, and it's gonna be the opposite way, the opposite order. So let's go back to our file. Let's change it back to strings, and as you can see guys here, if we display the file, we have some duplicates. So if we sort it, here for example we have James duplicated. So if you want to eliminate all duplications and only have unique values per lines, so we can say sort with the option -u, which is unique, and then it's going to eliminate all duplications. Another option that I want to show you guys is -k. So let's change the contents of our file and have multiple columns instead of one column. So I'm going to copy some content to our files here. So this is one column, but let's change it to something like this with multiple columns. So we have here 3 columns. So that, find that. So 3 columns, and we want to now sort these lines. So if we just run sort on this file, it's going to sort it line by line. It's going to compare basically the lines and sort them. And so let's see the results. So nothing special, it's just going to consider each line as a string and compare it with the other string in order to sort them. But now if we want to consider, if we want to tell sort that these are columns and we want to consider, we want to sort based on the column, so we can do something like this. Sorts -k, and we can specify which line we are sorting. So we can say 1 for first column, and we can say also 2 for second column, and we specify the file. And as you can see here, it started with the second column and sorted by it. So Amelia, Ava, Bradley, and go on. So basically what this command did, -k and 2, the column 2, it started sorting by the column number 2, but also it's used all the following columns. So the column 3 is also a second criteria for the sorting. So after sorting by column 2, it's going to use column 3 to sort again. In order to say to sort that it's only need to use one column and only one, so we do sort -k, and we're going to say 2, 2, 2, which means basically start sorting by column number 2 and finish at the column number 2, and we specify the file name, and that's it. This basically will say that it's gonna say to sort to me only using column 2. Another example of using this, I might say column number 3, and I'm gonna say -n for numbers, because here we have numbers in the column number 3, and I can say only 3. So obviously we don't have a 4th column here, but just in case we have more columns, we can say just number 3 like this way, so no confusions there. So we can say it like this, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, it has taken only in consideration the 3rd column in the equation, and this is the result. I hope that this tutorial was helpful and you learned something. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and keep tuning in for more videos. Bye bye.